Hello everyone, I'm Lilette Kaleja from All That Counts and I'm part of the Trainer Writer Network for QuickBooks Online Australia. We are here today with Mike and Joel to talk about how Entryless works with QuickBooks Online to help put your accounts payable on autopilot. That sounds pretty good to me. I'll hand things over to Mike and Joel to kick things off so we can learn more about Entryless. Thank you guys. Mike, Joel, over to you.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. Entryless is based around the idea that you could actually love your bills, and we're really happy to have this opportunity to show that off for your users and the viewers of this. So if you can imagine that, you could certainly improve a lot of the experience of both business owners and the accountants and bookkeepers who work with them. And that is really the vision behind Entryless, is to be able to love your bills. Mike here launched Entryless in 2013 in San Francisco. He had recognized how much effort and expense businesses were pouring into the receiving and entering of their supplier bills into their system. And he figured out that he had a way that could really transform the way that they worked. The thing is that people don't always realize what a great the bills can be for companies. They spend huge amounts of time manually processing purchase invoices. And now every supplier you have is submitting a bill a little differently, and it falls to the bookkeeper or the accountant to process them all for payment. Without automation, someone has to manually record the amounts, bill by bill, type the due date, the subtotal, the GST, the total, the invoice number, the supplier name, and all the other key items that create a bill. Then, after doing all that, they need to process to make sure that that payment is approved and paid. In a lot of companies, this can be an informal step that takes up a lot of time, even by their leadership. When the bill is finally paid, it still needs to be updated in the accounting software, which is yet another manual process way too frequently. So we understand that this experience can be frustrating, but Entryless believes your bills can be lovable. And for businesses, the bill automation process can be efficient and even provide powerful information to make intelligent decisions throughout your business. For accountants and bookkeepers, if you're free from the burden of managing bills, your life can become more efficient, your work can scale, and you can expand the reach of your practice. We'll see later on how we have a special edition of Entryless that's just for the way accountants and bookkeepers need to work. So we believe that Entryless can be transformative. The relationship with your suppliers can improve, your cash flow can go up, and the business can make better strategic decisions. So over the last few years, Entryless has proven that vision, and we've changed the lives of accountants, bookkeepers, and their business clients. Now that might sound a bit over the top, but it's really how we think of it. We want you to no longer be held back from your business goals by a stack of bills. We want to change how you deal with bills so that we can transform the business of accountants, bookkeepers, and their clients. Instead of worrying about how you'll process bills each month, we want to relax and just let Entryless provide fast, accurate, and automated bill processing. So this is essentially how it works. Instead of the chaotic process that people have used in the past, when your bills arrive at the door in this wide range of formats, you simply capture them into Entryless using either the dedicated email address, the web service, or a photo taken with your mobile application. Entryless processes the bill and then syncs it with your cloud accounting system. So now I'd like to do a quick demonstration of Entryless in action. So we're going to upload some bills to Entryless via the drag and drop interface on the computer. You can either upload a single bill or multiple bills directly to Entryless this way. This is already an account that we've created in Entryless with a demo company, and it's already connected to a cloud accounting package to QuickBooks here. So we're ready to upload bills. First, I need to log in very quickly.
So Joel, does it only accept PDF, or can you upload Word docs and Excel invoice?
We do not accept, or it does not currently process a Word document, although it's very easy to turn a Word or an Excel document into a PDF. But a PNG or a JPEG is also acceptable, and our optical character recognition and our business intelligence will be able to identify all of the portions of the bill that need to be implemented.
Okay.
So from here, we'll go to the Upload Bills section. You see this is a very clean interface that offers a pretty straightforward choice. Drag and drop your files here. I'm going to open up a few bills here. These are our sample bills. As you can see, you can select multiple ones at a single pass and drag them onto, excuse me. This is an unexpected issue.
Technology at its best. Yeah, live demo.
Oh dear. What is?
Yes, and just to jump in very quickly, this is Mike. So one of the things that on the PDF, so actually there's a lot of accountants across the globe that what they actually do is to scan all their bills in one PDF and then send those into the Entryless account.
Yes, indeed.
Can you email directly into Entryless, or do you need to save it in a folder?
Yes, actually you can also email, and it looks like Joel, if you close that one and then just open directly, because it looks like that your Finder doesn't has with the webinar. Yeah, just click on the drag and drop, and then we'll be able to select directly from there, and then continue here. So the idea is right now what's going to happen is these bills are going to be fully automated in seconds. So there are about 6 bills, so you can just upload them. You can have 100 invoices in 100 pages of just one PDF. So as long as there are less than 10 megabytes per file, you can actually have the bills submitted to Entryless, and we'll make the actual breakdown of every single page according to each bill, and then we'll get processed automatically.
So what happens if it's over the 10 megabytes? Do you get an error if it's been rejected and drag and drop?
Exactly, you'll get
pure file?
Yes. That's essentially what will happen. We will show you that hey, this is the maximum allowed in Entryless. Please submit them in a slower or lower megabytes. Yeah. Awesome.
Well,
thanks, Cheryl.
Quick.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. I apologize for the little blip there, but as you can see, we've processed all 6 of those bills relatively quickly, quite quickly here, while Mike explained a few things. And Entryless has now started processing those bills through the cloud application. So at this point, the workflow is an automated process in which the approving person can now review them for payment. So if we go to Accounts Payable and Approve Bills, you can see all of the bills that you have available to currently work with.
Right.
Yeah, and these are all the bills that they were just submitted. So imagine the power of Entryless for the accountancies and for the SMBs. You simply submit your bills, Entryless captures all the key items, and then you're ready and set to go. You simply approve them as Joel's gonna do right now, and those bills will get synchronized to your QuickBooks Online system. So it's really life-changing for accountants, because now it means that they can spend more time on their clients instead of doing, like just doing data entry of the customer data.
Okay.
Yeah, it certainly speeds up the process of getting your cash flow determined, and also excuse me,
So
that was not the
with these bills that you've just done a example drag and drop, I'm assuming that they have you've already preset and mapped, say, direct fuels to the general ledger code fuels and oils, and that's why it's found the account and it's mapped it automatically. So if it was a new supplier, you would go through the whole mapping process of mapping it once.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually it works two ways. That's a great question. It works two ways. So we essentially import your chart of accounts and suppliers once you first synchronize with Entryless. So once we do that, we are actually able to know where do you usually tag your suppliers. So if direct fuels goes always into fuels, we will know that it needs to go into that expense account. If it's entirely a new supplier, then what you need to do is simply teach Entryless where you want to code it for the first time, and then all the subsequent times it's going to get coded to that same account, in which you can always edit as well.
Correct.
You can edit, so if you've got multiple lines, so we've got a supplier that has multiple lines and they need to go to different GL accounts, can you teach the supplier invoice to go to multiple accounts, or is that something you would manually adjust whilst you're processing the batch?
That's a great point. So right now, over 90% of our customers, they don't need the line by line. So that's a feature that is coming in Entryless. So right now, it only handles the subtotal, the GST, the total, like all the key business objects. But if you need to make a breakdown of, let's say, different expense accounts, you will need to do the breakdown manually. That's a feature that's coming in the coming months, in which you'll be able to do it automatically according to what the bill actually says.
Oh, that's good to know, Mike. Great.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's essentially the workflow that the businesses will experience. And as you can see, it's going to speed up a lot of their work and also improve the accuracy of their work. The other element that we've developed for Entryless is how accountants and bookkeepers can work. So I want to show you a little bit about the CPA dashboard and the workflow that a CPA, accountant, or a bookkeeper is going to experience here. This way they can simplify their work across all of their clients. On the top here, you can see what your work looks like across everything, including what you're going to be approving, how many bills have recently been approved, and your month-to-date expenses. This is a good heads-up view of your issues for the day. Now, if you scroll down here, you can see all of your existing clients and their current status. What bills are still processing, what bills require approval, what bills have been approved, and their month-to-date expenses. This is going to be a good clue for you as to what you need to focus on today or this week in order to move everybody forward.
Yes, and if you imagine the life of an accountant or a bookkeeper, imagine having just at least 10 clients, which usually they have only 4 or 5 times that amount. Imagine having all those bills automated by a system like Entryless. What does that mean in business terms for them? In this case, we have 125 bills. How much time does it take them to process those 125 bills, and how much time they need to spend on each client, and what's the cost associated to that? With Entryless, they are able to automate all those bills and get them into the right account, export them to QuickBooks, and really streamline their business. And for the small businesses, the owners, now they can make intelligent decisions. Now they know what they are spending. One thing is your cash story that the balance of your bank tells you, but where are you spending that money? And then on the other hand, how much money do you owe? How much money do you still have as open because you have business relationships with your suppliers, and they trust you, and they expect to have a payment at the end of the month or beginning of the month. That's something that is very transformational for them, and that's what we really aim to bring to every single doorstep of the businesses across Australia and the globe.
Okay.
Absolutely.
A question I have, Duplicates. Does the system know if it's pushing through a duplicate invoice into QuickBooks Online? How does it deal with duplicates? Because, I mean, I know we're talking about efficiencies and automation, but when duplications happen, and I'm sure there are a lot of bookkeepers and pro advisors out there and business owners who
Yeah.
feel the frustration.
Yeah, totally. Actually, there are two ways that we handle duplicates. So the first one, and the most simple one, is we rule the invoices by supplier. So if a supplier has, let's say, the same invoice number 1, then our system alerts that they have a duplicate. And then the second part of it, and then right there, our customers directly reject the transactions because now, Entryless alerted them that it's a duplicate. Now, if they, by any error, synchronize a transaction to QuickBooks, trigger an alert and saying, hey, you synchronize exists in QuickBooks, so please go ahead and take a look. So it's sort of a double lock that we have applied on the logic on how they approve the bills and how we manage the duplicates.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so
Well,
if we can just try and wrap up, guys.
absolutely.
So far looks really great, and if we can just, I guess what everyone is interested in, the most important question, how much does this all cost?
Absolutely.
And how
so, of course, you can download the app or create a connection with Entryless either through the Intuit store or at Entryless.com. We have a lot of users who are very happy, who love to tell the story of Entryless, and you can certainly find them out all over the internet. The way that we build this is, let me actually just go back to the website, is that the premium service that can really make a difference for people is $29.99 a month per business, and that includes a much more accelerated processing of bills, and it can sync file attachments from email. It also includes priority support and the ability to provide multi-level approvals for accountants, as well as the accounting and bookkeeping capabilities. Now, businesses can utilize it and try it out for 300 free bills a month for no charge at all.
Okay. Now, is there a capped volume on the $29.99, or is it unlimited number of bills?
It is capped. I believe the Australian one is capped at 300, Mike?
Yes, the key difference on why customers are actually upgrading is because they can get almost immediate results with the premium version of Entryless. So they get the same amount of transactions. However, they get the faster processing, and also the other key benefit of Entryless is that from time to time we do promotions. And for example, right now, businesses and accountants can submit up to 2,000 bills per month. So that's something to be on the lookout, because with the system, as you just saw, how we were able to automate those transactions almost immediately. That's the power of the automation, and we really pass that on to the business owner and an accountant. We really want them to have that. There are many features that are coming of Entryless in the coming months. So for us, we have just achieved a very small part of the vision of the company, so there are much more solutions that are going to be coming to them. So that's why right now the pricing model, the way that it works, is that for $29.99 Australian dollars, you get the premium speed on the faster processing and get those bills exported into your QuickBooks account.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I think it's a small investment to make when you think about how many days you get back as a business owner or a bookkeeper pro advisor. So $29.99. I'd say most businesses could be potentially looking at, 1 day a week, or it depends on their payment runs, 1 day a month at least back in their business. So, Yeah, great investment. Thank you so much, Mike and Joel. It's been a pleasure having you. And
Likewise,
thank you for sharing with us Entryless and how it all works with QuickBooks Online.
Our pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.